Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Onward VR Master League. I am your caster for the day, Noman with a 4. I am joined by the man with the third eye, Triple Nipple. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good, but it's definitely not a third eye.
It's the third pleasure eye. That's what we're gonna roll with today. But
Third pleasure eye. I like it.
we are bringing you guys a great matchup today, one I have been looking forward to for the better part of this week. Today we're gonna be seeing Animal House taking on Valor. I think this is gonna be a good one. Honestly, these are two good teams. Valor currently on a 3-0 streak, coming up from their debut in the Onward Master League. A couple of veteran players in there, but the team is new. And Animal House been struggling a little bit, but starting to sort of climb back up the ranks, as it were. And I don't know. What do you think about this matchup?
I mean, I think it's a good one. I definitely wouldn't have picked it if I didn't think it was going to be a good match. Like you said, Valor's been on a 3-game win streak. I think they're rolling in that and just going to continue to play well. They've got good players. None of them are new. And Animal House, I don't know if they've got their issues worked out. I know they were having tech issues last week, so we'll see if they've ironed all that out and they're back in full force.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they were missing a couple of their key players last match they had played.
2-1.
So
Hey,
we
why
are
you
going
guys
to be jumping into this match shortly. But before we do that, let's do our very quick and dirty ban discussion. So the first ban coming out of Animal House is Downfall. And the ban coming out of Valor is going to be Cargo. What do you think about those bans, Trip? I mean, pretty standard bans, I think. Cargo may be a little bit off the wall. Usually Tanker will take that spot, or maybe something like Subway. But what do you think about these?
I'm taking a look right now at the stats pages, and Valor banning Cargo just doesn't seem like something I would have done in their position. I mean, Animal House only has a 51% round wins on that, and Valor themselves have a 57%, but they've only played it 7 times total. Animal House banning Downfall. It looks to be one of their lesser maps, and Valor has a 73% round win rate, so that's probably a good call on their part.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the statistics are important, but, you know, it's like a lot of things in life. This is sometimes down to, you know, luck and feel. How are the teams feeling on those maps that day? Which players are in for it? And which map they start with. And speaking of which map they start with, we are going to be seeing Suburbia as the first map for these two teams. And I think we're getting close to getting underway. So before we do that, let's talk really quickly about Suburbia. Very common map. I think Animal House definitely favors this map to a lot of the ones that I've seen them play. They're very strong on it. What do you think Valor's gonna bring to the table here?
I haven't played with Valor at all since they've hopped into this new season, so I'm not really sure. I do know that Animal House does favor their smaller maps, which is probably why they banned Downfall. They just excuse myself mid-speech. They excel better on the smaller maps. Let's see what has Valor done.
Or really quickly, while you dig up those stats, I do want to go over the match information here. So we're just taking a look at the lineup for the day. These are actually all of the team members. So Animal House, we've got Silent Knight, Green Theft Auto, Steven 12, Will-O-the-Wisp, Boxtoys, Lipinski, and Wicked Hex. And on the Valor side, Painco, 04, Mobstar, Oliviev, Private Jace, Bulletproof 1406, and Shadows all. So some pretty veteran players on both sides. Players we've seen a lot in past teams and just in past seasons in general. And I'm excited to see what the lineup is going to be. It looks like Animal House not going to be running Steven yet, although they still only have 4 players, so we don't know who their 5th is while they figure out who's going to be joining. But yeah, we are seeing Mobstar, Panko for Olivio, and Jace start on the Valor side. So I don't know. It's going to be an interesting matchup. Again, these two teams, Valor being new, but with experienced players, and Animal House sort of making their comeback in the league. And this is it's a bronze and silver matchup, but honestly, I think we'll be seeing play above that caliber from these two teams. But we are pretty close to getting underway here. I do want to take this time to quickly thank everybody in the chat for coming to hang out with us today on the VR Master League. We have been working hard on all kinds of new features and improvements for the casting channel itself, one of which you may have seen the announcement in the Onward Discord, but we do have some new emotes coming to subscribers of the channel. They are going live soon. They've been submitted to Twitch and should be active, I think, within the week. But some really cool emotes in there. There's a cap, cap, cap. There's a clutch emote. There is a little grenade emote for those sweet Buxton nades that we all love so much in the league. So definitely check those out, and keep those subscriptions coming in. Share this with your friends, with your family. We love putting out great content for you guys, and we're so glad you've all chosen to come hang out with us today. And we got a pretty full weekend as well, so this is just the start of all of the fun we're going to be having.
So I've got some more stats for us here. So you know how veteran teams, I know you're on one of them. You like to do your homework, right? You like to review game tape and whatnot.
Correct, yeah.
Valor only has one casted match this whole season, and Animal House only has 2. So I mean, there's not a whole lot. Animal House having previously casted matches from previous seasons, but there's not a whole lot to work off of on the Valor side here. So I don't know if they're gonna have, set plans for an offense that they expect, or if they're just gonna go with what they know and kind of play it by ear.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a Animal House style that you can be pretty familiar with, having watched a few of their casts in the past. And this is a team that went to the semifinals just, I think, a season and a half ago. They were, I believe, knocked out by Boss Fight in one of at the time, the closest matches there was. So they are definitely a contender for a top team, and if anybody comes into this match thinking they're going to watch a tape or two and roll over Animal House, I think they're going to be sorely mistaken. So hopefully Valor has some in their back pocket, a little bit of their own strat making. There's only so much you can really learn from watching another team's tapes. At the end of the day, it's how well you play. So hopefully we'll be seeing.
Yeah, my team played them earlier this week, but unfortunately I was not able to join them, so I don't know how that learning experience went.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Even hearing it secondhand, you don't always get the right idea from it. But yeah, we are still waiting just on that final member of Animal House to join, and I think we're just gonna toss you guys to a quick 4-minute intermission while we wait for this fourth member. And as soon as we come back, we'll have some sweet Onward action for you. So stick around, folks. We will be right back. All right, ladies and gents, we are back. Still just waiting on one more member. There is a tech issue on the Animal House side, so they are getting, I think, a reservist, or maybe their players fixing it up. Either way, that's should be resolved shortly, and we'll be jumping into the match. I did have one more little tidbit of information to drop in, relatively fresh on the heels of the announcement in the Discord as well, but we are playing on the hot-fixed version of Onward that was released today with a bunch of new improvements and bug fixes. So lots of interesting stuff in there. If you haven't seen the announcement, go check that out. I think you can now silently take out your tablet near the objective, which I think is going to be a huge deal, because that always used to make the same volume noise every time you reached for it. But now we can see even sneakier caps than before, and a couple interesting ones like. I want to get your opinion on this one, Trip. When you get shot and you're bleeding out, but you're not downed yet, you're no longer able to sprint. What do you think about that update?
I feel like that's a good thing. I mean, that should have been there, but it's going to drastically change gameplay, in my opinion. Although most of the time when I'm playing in comps, there is no get shot and bleed out. It's get shot and die.
Yeah,
So,
it's definitely not a common scenario, but you know, for people running body armor, for example, it's a little bit more common to take a round and to bleed out a little bit. I wonder if it's the bleed out state specifically, or if it's the like taking any damage will cause that.
that is a good question. We need to test all these things now.
Yeah, we'll have the Onward community test it for us, or we'll maybe see it in game here. And I'm actually curious to know how many of the players. I think everybody's on the hotfix, but I'm just curious how many of them research the changes that have come out, and if they're going to adapt their play style in any way to accommodate those. But it should be pretty interesting. Some good improvements for grenade throwing as well. Lots of really neat things that came out with this update. So if you haven't gotten that, go download it and check it out on your own. Yeah, we are pretty close, I think. We're still waiting on that 5th player. I'd prefer not to kick us to another intermission, but take this time again to thank everybody for coming to hang out with us and being patient while one of the teams resolves their tech issue here. If you guys have any predictions on how the game's going to go, we'd love to see those in the chat as well, and let us know what you think the final score might be. I think it's a fun one we can try to do, and maybe we take bets on what maps we're going to play. Actually, it's a good one to discuss between me and you. So we know that this was likely Animal House's choice, as they are home, and they are starting Marsoc, so safe bet that this was their map pick. What do you think Valor is going to pick into?
You know, it's a toss-up. I really think that they want to throw them off, so they may throw us a night map like Quarantine Night. They do have a 100% win percentage on that, 5 rounds out of 5 rounds, or a good old Bazaar, which is their strongest.
Yeah, that is an interesting thought. I wonder what it will be. I'd love to see a Bazaar. It's been a good long while since I've seen a Bazaar. But we are just getting some information here that the teams are re-hosting the lobby, so we're going to go ahead and jump into that new lobby, and we will be with you folks in just one moment. All right, folks, we are just now jumping into the new lobby here. We should be kicking off a moment. Appreciate everybody's patience again. You know, new updates, all kinds of software things. We've been dealing with them. We'll make it out. All right. Fantastic. I will give the teams the go-ahead. And we will be kicking this off momentarily, I think. So we are going to be seeing this red car objective. And I can actually show you that because we are diving into the first round of map 1. And we are seeing this red car objective. Let's see what happens here. Valor versus Animal House. Valor on defense. Let's see if their defense is what I would believe to be a standard, pretty close to the objective defense or not. I am happy to note that the countdown timer is working and the actual in-game timer is correct as well, so we won't have to deal with that bug. Let's see how Animal House decides to approach this objective. So we're seeing heavy smokes, maybe falling a little too short there in lane 2 and 3. Wicked Hex and Box Toys moving up through lane 4. And a grenade's gonna come out, almost catches Green Theft there. Team nade.
That was really close.
I got a little scared for him myself. Green Theft now rotating out. Olivio's in this interesting position here, right behind the car. He is guarding against that cap at all costs. That's ringing out from Green Theft onto that north red car position. Not going to land, and now the backup fire from Wicked Hex is going to be coming out. Olivia's going to have to be careful here. If Willow can make this corner, it does look like he indeed made that. Shots ringing out from Olivia onto Will-O-the-Wisp position. Not going to land either. Mobstar should be able to catch him here. He's right in his sight lines, and there it goes. Jace picks up Wicked Hex in lane 4. Mobstar cleans up Willow. And Green laying down some fire through the bushes into lane 3 as well. Still not finding Olivia. Animal House now down 2 players. Valor holding pretty strong.
Silent has moved all the way up lane 1 and is taking shots against the backside of Mobstar now.
A very good flash there. A set of flashes coming out from Mobstar, and he does grab Silent Knight. Green Theft cleans him up, however, from lane 2. And we're into a 2v4. Animal House now really have to work something out here. They're on opposite sides of the map. Green Theft, oh, if he'd have just peeked those sandbags, he could have caught Panko just standing out in the open, but luckily for Panko, he rotates out. And now Green's going to have to look for this pick on Olivio. That's going to be his first main obstacle. Jace grabs Box Toys there in lane 4, and it's all up to Green. Shots ringing out from Panko do grab him. And Valor take that first defensive round. Not really what I expected to see there. It seemed like the Animal House offense was sort of, I don't know, like piecemeal. Like they were putting it together as they went along. Some nades landing too close to friendlies. Their distribution of fire was a little strange. I think Silent was kind of running around the hedges there in the garden area, you know, trying to sort of cover every angle. Not as coordinated as I would have expected, but nonetheless, Valor holding a tight defense there. Great rotations, some good communication, and they're able to grab that first round.
Maybe it's their warm-up round, or maybe they don't like this objective.
Yeah, these 2 street objectives on the north side are notably tough. Not just to cap on, but really just to approach. I mean, it really requires some pretty great coordination on both sides of the objective and utilizing your smoke properly. You really have to sort of incite panic on the defensive side in order for that to work out for you. So yeah, it's definitely a difficult one to approach, but I've definitely seen Animal House take it before. So We'll see what they do here on defense, though, as we diving into the second round here shortly. What do you think? You think you think we're going to be seeing Volk trades here? Because I kind of feeling like a Volk trade vibe right now.
I would assume so. I mean, that is the easiest way to go, right? Volk trades.
Yeah, I mean, it's something we don't see very often anymore with all the balancing things that have come out lately. Marsak is definitely starting to feel more favored on a lot of these maps, but we are jumping in now to round 2 of this map 1, Animal House and Valor. Animal House now on defense, looking to grab themselves a first round.
Losing that first round doesn't seem to have affected their spirits at all. Green Theft and Silent are both just humming along and singing as they go.
Yeah, they are playing pretty aggressive game here. Willow setting himself up on these sandbags on the inside of the playground. Flashes coming out from the defense. The defense, though, opting to take a lane 1, lane 2 approach here, but those flashes sort of backing them off. Lots of traded nades here. Smoke's coming out from the Valor side. Silent Knight here has the opportunity to catch quite a few people. He does grab Olivio underneath the Humvee. 04 quickly grabs that shield and looks to get the refrag, but Silent Knight's already rotated out. We've got Green Theft here creeping up in lane 2. Willow, I think, sees Panko, and now the rush coming out from Green. Grabs Panko in that corner. Great communication there from both teams. Willow's going to have to be careful. If he makes too much noise, Jace is going to be very aware of his position.
Yeah, that's a super aggressive position from both Willow and Green Theft.
Look at Hex grabs Mobstar there as they approach on that side of the street, and that entire western approach is gone, and there it is. Animal House cleans up. Don't listen to that scoreboard announcement. It is actually Animal House's point there. The defense able to very quickly clean up Valor's approach there. The west side crumbled pretty quickly as soon as Olivia went down. And that center aggressive defense cleans up the other 2 members, and now we're in a 1-1-1.
Yeah, I think that western approach, I think their shield guy got a little ahead of them and then catch up, and that's when it all fell apart.
Yeah, running with a shield requires, I don't know, almost otherworldly communication when you're running sort of the backup for the shield, because you need to make sure you're aware of where the shield is pointing, where the potential enemies could be coming from, and then generally speaking, you're going to be the one that takes fire first. So it's a very dangerous and tricky position to play in. Right there, didn't quite work out. I think running behind that Humvee was the wrong play there, because you're limiting your own visibility. And Silent was able to capitalize there by shooting the feet of the shield user underneath the Humvee. But he could have picked up 2 or 3 right off the bat, so had a bit of a chance to recover.
Now, Blaze runs a shield, but you don't run a shield as a protector, right? You just let Naoko do his thing, right?
Yeah, so we generally have 2 shield players. And yeah, generally speaking, they have their own strategies for it. But not everybody plays shield that way, and different teams will utilize it in a different way. So not surprising to see it being run as sort of a group activity here. But speaking of group activity, we're going to be diving into round 3.
I don't have it. Someone else has it.
Map 1. Looks like Valor forgetting to grab a piece of equipment from the tent, but they'll soldier on, as it were. We are going to be seeing this burning building objective. This is one of my favorite ones on Subway. Seeing a C4 come out, not exactly where he wanted to put it. It's going to basically invalidate his position there. Unfortunately placed C4. It's hovering a little bit in midair. We are seeing some check fire here.
I wonder if someone throws a grenade onto that porch, if that C4 will detonate from that and kill him.
You know, that is a good question, and I have a feeling we're going to find out. I have a feeling that is one of those things we are going to learn today, Trip.
I love learning.
And the offense very stalled out here, just sort of waiting for the defense to make a rotation, make a pick, but no one's really being antsy on that Valor defense. And as well the case should be. This is an objective. It's close to your spawn. It's tucked in. You really just have to get your angles on it and force the offense to try to force you out of position. So, not sure Animal House is going to get any lucky breaks here, but should find out shortly. Taking a look at the overhead map, the spread is nice. They've got every lane covered. Just trying to make sure that there is no flanker coming out. And now we're seeing those smokes come out. Olivio and Wicked Hex trading. Wicked Hex going down entirely. Box confirming Olivio's kill there. 04 grabs Silent Knight. Will-O-the-Wisp grabs Mobstar. Panko downs Willow. We're in a 2v3 with one res available for Animal House, but Willow goes down in the center house. Box is going to grab Jace near the objective, and he's basically by himself here. If Panko doesn't rotate into this window quickly, this could be devastating for Valor's defense. But there it is. Panko spotted out Box Toys. Green Theft does grab 04 there, and he's now on the inside of the garage. Panko's in
Box
trouble.
Toys is going for the cap. He's going for it. He's got his tablet out. He's on objective. He's hiding behind it.
Panko doesn't see it. He doesn't
This is a
see
very
it.
long cap. All my energy just died.
Oh,
he
Panko
got him!
does grab the headshot from upstairs. Saves the cap. Wow, not sure what was taking so long there. Likely just some shaky hands. And let's see if Panko... Yeah, he does hear the footsteps. The rotation comes out, but Animal House, Green Theft, grabs Panko in the upstairs on the quick rush, and Animal House go up 2 points. Wow, that was best case scenario for Valor right there. That cap save was pretty much the best you could hope for when you're stuck in that house like that. You know there's an enemy right outside. You know you can't really rotate out. I mean, I suppose you could and take the loss anyway, but he gave himself a chance there, cleaned up the cap attempt, and just wasn't quite quick enough on the trigger there to grab the last kill. And Animal House is going to take that first Marsoc round. Take this to a 2 and a 1.
Yeah, it was definitely not the fastest cap in the West, but I don't know how non-shaky my hands would be if I was literally standing on the other side of the objective using it for cover.
Yeah, that, I believe, as well, it's worth noting. The objective used to be impenetrable. I believe in the 1.3 update, it was impenetrable. And then in 1.4, it was made basically see-through or invisible to bullets. So you can still hide behind it, but the bullets
that's
will
good to
slip
know.
through it. Yeah, it's an interesting thing that maybe not a lot of players are aware of, but right there, it definitely helped Panko's position out, because in the past, that would have been a very difficult shot to make.
I always thought if I heard bullet noises that it was being blocked.
Well, you can't always believe what you hear.
This is
But I will believe that we are diving into round 4 of this map 1, because that's exactly what's happening. Animal House now on the defense. All right, and Animal House sounded like they did their homework, saying that they're going to need to watch for the rush, because Valor likes to change up their tactics mid-game. So it looks like there's been some research done, maybe on both sides here. And this quick push up, this defense is so interesting to me. I mean, for this objective, Willow's position, for example, in lane 2 is just unnecessarily aggressive, and he could very well get caught out here by 04 as he rotates into his position in the semi-nook there. Very dangerous.
that's crazy.
He should be hearing 04 as he comes around, though, and he is going to grab him. Callouts should be heard. He does grab Jace, but then is then cleaned up by Mobstar. Callouts are coming out, though. Mobstar called out, and Olivio's shield is called out as well. A confirm nade there, almost confirming their own friendly, but an interesting choice. Nading your friend's body to try to kill anybody trying to confirming him is a very sneaky play. I wonder if that's what that was.
A kill's a kill.
You are correct about that. Livio now approaching center house. He's going to have to deal with Silent. Silent deals with him instead. And a nice shot. It was indeed shooting the feet of the shield user, Livio there. Grab him. And Valor is just down to 2 players on this defensive round. Silent confirming Olivio's body. Now it's all up to Mobstar and Painco to try to make this approach. That's ringing out on a tight corner there. Green Theft pre-firing the potential position. Nade coming out, not going to land on Painco's position. Green has to be careful here. Silent and Mobstar right around the corner from each other. Boxtoys is going to grab Painco there as he rounds the corner, and now it's just Silent and Mob. Mobstar looking to get the height advantage on Silent, and Silent rushes out, grabs Mobstar on the backside of center house, and Animal House is going up 3-1.
Wow, even after dropping that shield and giving his position away.
Yeah, that was a great play. That was I don't think Mobstar was ready for that rush. I think he was expecting him to stay tucked in and wait for the approach, but interesting choice not to rotate out there and reposition on top of his teammate who is moving towards the objective. Would have been a good opportunity for a refrag there, but Animal House have now put up 3 unanswered points against Valor.
Like I said, maybe they were just warming up that first round.
Yeah, just trying to get the feel of the enemy team. Definitely a strategy. I don't think it's a planned strategy, but I think a lot of teams do that. Is sort of, you get caught out once or twice, and then you realize, like, okay, maybe I won't rush this, this lane, or maybe I won't throw my grenade so early. I'll just wait until they get set up. Things like that. It sort of comes to you as you play. That sort of awareness is absolutely key when it comes to, especially playing a higher ranked team like this. Valor is going to need to find that secret sauce. But again, this is Animal House's pick of map, so if anywhere they were going to dominate early, it was going to be here. But we are still early in the series, and anything can happen in these games, Trip. Anything can happen.
Oh, I don't doubt that. That's why we're here, to catch all those good action shots.
Yeah, absolutely, and tons of action there is as we dive into round 5 of this first map. Animal House on the offense, looking to close this out. Sounds like at 4:30 we got to watch our Animal House offense, because they said they're going to be doing the Macarena, and I'd love to see that. Approach coming in. Take a look at the overhead map again, largely in this lane 1 and 2, but the rest of Animal House slowly setting up on lane 3 and 4. Some pre-fire coming out there. Silent Mike calling out Painco by name there. This position is given away.
He also called out the guy behind the objective on the other side of the spawn house, and I don't know how he saw him through the bushes.
We'll say magic. That's what we'll say. So Silent is in a good position here. So they've got
Peek the window for 5 seconds, please. That's all I ask.
2 members of the defense. A little bit of inter-team discussion there happening between Silent and Painco. Green now tossing that smoke up onto objective. That's going to be what they need. They need to find a way to push past that very stacked front yard. And the smokes are coming out. The defense is going to have a tough time seeing them. That
nade
is a fantastic nade. Silent Knight grabbing 2 there. And the push is coming. Will-O-The-Wisp is at the smoke. 04 is going to have to be careful here. Willow's rotating around, but he goes for the confirm. 04 able to clean him up quickly. And now Box Toys.
Around behind. He's capping. He's cap pad out. He's capping.
Oh my goodness, this is why we need casters and co-casters, and Animal House does indeed capitalize on the confusion. Not sure how the downed members of Valor did not see him come through that side of the house, but he does manage to come all the way up the side and grab a cap for his team, and that first map goes 5-1 in favor of Animal House.
That was an impressive cap.
My goodness.
All right, I guess we're going Volk
My
then.
goodness.
I guess.
I was about to say, you know, Valor's got a nice stacked defense on the objective. You know, they've got good lanes of fire, and one nade just comes in and screws the whole thing up.
Yeah, and that's the problem with a stacked defense like that. You know, it's susceptible to that spacing problem we like to talk about so much. But now we are going to be jumping in to our second map. And really quickly, let's go over the bans just one more time. So we did have a ban of Cargo from Valor. We had a ban of Downfall from Animal House. And our second map is going to be Bazaar. Good call on that pre-round discussion there. Trip calling the Bazaar play. Bazaar, a great mid to long range map, and I think we're going to see some really interesting play here from Valor. If I remember right, that casted match that they had, they played a dang good Bazaar. You can remind me if you're aware of the statistics more than I am, but
The Valor match?
yeah, the one that was casted, I believe they played, I don't know if they went 4-2 or 4-1, I think, on that Bazaar match. I can't quite remember, but we'll see how they do with, we'll call it home field advantage as their second pick. Animal House looking to keep that 5 unanswered point momentum going. I think we are just waiting on 2 members, one on each team there to ready up before we jump in. So I'll take this time to thank everybody again in the chat for hanging out with us. I'd like to thank myself for subscribing to the channel and anybody else who subscribes to the channel. Like I'd mentioned earlier in the cast, we do have some neat subscription perks coming soon. Some sweet new teammates. E-friends. They're your e-friends. Some emotes coming out on the Twitch Onward Master League channel for our subscribers of any tier. Those are made by the wonderful Pink Stingray, one of our fellow Onward players and team members. And yeah, it's going to be an exciting time. This should be going live sometime next week. So if you want to save your sub and be cool and drop it when the emotes go live, you can definitely do that. But we do appreciate you guys hanging out in here and supporting us and doing all the fun things that you people do in chat. I haven't been paying attention to it. Are they behaving themselves in their trip?
I'm just gonna assume no. I haven't been paying attention either. But who behaves themselves in chat?
Yeah, you're right. It's too much to ask. I am seeing some subs rolling in already. Thanks, guys. We appreciate it, Kija, with the sub there. Keep those rolling in. They all go to support the casters and the casting community, and it just gives us the opportunity to give you more of this hot Onward action. So hot.
That's HAWT.
That's correct. Yeah. Thank you. Definitely needed to confirm the spelling there because the other kind of hot's just not enough. It's not hot enough, you know? Not hot enough. We're still waiting on 2 members, and instead of listening to me rambling for the amount of time it takes the players to get into the lobby, we're going to kick you guys over to a quick intermission again while we wait for the teams to ready up. Hopefully it won't run the whole length, but we will be right back as soon as the action kicks back off. Thanks for sticking around. right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are still waiting on one member of Animal House, but I've gone ahead and let them know that unless they've burned their time out, they are going to have to kick this round off a man short. Even if they can't get that 5th member in, that would be definitely an unfortunate start for them for this second map, especially after starting off so strong on Suburbia with that 5-1 performance they had just put on. But could be that stroke of luck. Valor might need to, put some points back on the board and respond quickly to that quick Suburbia round we have seen. Should be kicking off here shortly, but take a quick gander at the matches for this week so that we're not just killing time here. We'll go through some of the matches you can look forward to this weekend, and start off. So tomorrow at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, we're going to be seeing Ember versus the Colettos, hosted by yours truly and Sleepy. And then Saturday's jam-packed. We've got Cold Steel and Silent Purge, a button cut matchup from the week before that having some issues getting scheduled. That is going to be going live at noon Pacific. And then my co-caster here, Trip, is going to be hosting the Space Force Riot game on Onward Master League 2. And that is at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. 30 minutes later, SMC Tactical and Legionnaires are going to be going at it on OML 1. Nightfire and Sleepy going to be casting that one for you. And then finally on Sunday, we've got Silent But Deadly, a new team, again, veteran players. So we're seeing a lot of that lately in the league. They're going to be going up against Ember, and Trip, you casting that one as well with Sandria on Master League 3. And finally, 5 o'clock Pacific Time, we're going to be seeing Stone Cold Killers play We're a Team, and that is going to be hosted by Nightfire and Todd. So many good matchups, man. How do you get anything done on the weekends, really, when you see a list of matchups that massive, Trip?
I don't. I canceled all my plans this weekend. I'm hoping to actually pick up some more.
Yeah, that is just the exact answer I needed to hear. And
we have that All-Star coming up this week.
That is true. Yeah, great announcement to make as well. We are going to be having the Onward All-Star Tournament, which was scheduled way back in the beginning of the season. If you haven't signed up for that, go jump into the League Announcements channel on the Onward Discord there, the link at the bottom underneath the video here, and go put your name in that Google Doc. Get your name in there. Be an all-star if you think you're an all-star. Everybody thinks they're an all-star, but if you know you're an all-star, go sign up on that announcement, and we'll be drafting captains, I think this weekend sometime. And then the captains will select their all-star teams, and we will get those matches scheduled for next week. So regular season play is partially suspended for next week so that the all-star tournament can go off without too much interference. However, for the league players in the chat who are interested, you will be able to challenge, I believe, just one team. So you'll be able to have one challenge match next week if you so choose. But yeah, that's going to be an interesting tournament. I definitely signed up for it, but we'll see. They might want to just keep us casters on the sidelines, you know.
I don't know. I still want a full casting team in the All-Stars, man. I think that'd be a great way to go.
That would be delightful.
We did have 76 players as of today, so that is a lot. 8 teams worth.
That is quite a bit of games. I wonder how that format is going to roll out. We'll likely be seeing it in the weekend sometime. So keep your eyes peeled for announcements on that one. That is going to be a fun watch. And we do apologize. We are still waiting on one member of Animal House to join. I think they are going to be getting a reservist into the place of the player they lost. Wicked Hex, I believe, was the player that they lost. And I think we saw, I can't quite remember the lineup of Valor before the game started, but I believe we did see Shadows Falls come in as a sub. I'm not exactly sure who for. There were some roster changes on the Valor side. I believe that is 04. Yeah, 04 is out. He played on Suburbia there. He was the last remaining defensive member alive during that unfortunate cap, or fortunate, depending on who you're a fan of in this series. And he is going to be rotating out, and Shadows Falls is going to be taking his place. So interesting. I wonder if he was taken out because he was capped on. Do you think? I'm not super familiar.
Like a harsh reaction.
Different teams have different coaching strategies, and I know there are definitely teams that will, give other players the opportunity to play if you're struggling, to meet your duties. It's not necessarily a punishment, but it's sort of a, hey, maybe you're not at the top of your game today. We'll bring in somebody else in your place, or maybe it's just map preference. It's hard to say. As casters, we don't really know too much about the
lean on the side of map preference than retribution.
No, it's a simple theoretical question. I'm not saying that he should have been taken out or anything. Definitely, they played well. 04 had some great picks there. He was mid-range on the team for kills, but we did see him do pretty well in that opening round defense. So yeah, it's just an interesting question. Anytime you see player rotations, you have to wonder what the reason for it was. If you liken it to really any other sport, it's a question of, is that because he's tired, because he, this guy knows the other plays better? Who knows? It could be a lot of things. But either way, we are still waiting for that last member of Animal House or a reservist to jump into this match. We apologize, folks, as we wait for the players to get ready. In the meantime, though, let us know in the chat what you think is going to come of this series. So Animal House starting off very strong, but now having to sub in one of their players, potentially. Now they're going to have to come into a Suburbia round essentially one team member short. And I wonder if that's going to skew anybody's predictions as to the outcome of this game. So let us know in the chat. We are interested in your predictions, even if we see them a little bit late. We are running this on the standard 6-minute delay. But we should be kicking off the action shortly here. Just bear with us. A couple more minutes, folks, and we'll get all of this stuff rolling as soon as we can. All right, folks, after a quick lobby rehost, I do see 10 members in the lobby, full teams, and actually it looks like, yeah, they did grab a reservist, so 2 old will be coming in for Animal House on the reservist side, and with those fantastic, lovely tones, we are finally jumping in to round 1 of map 2, and actually maybe I spoke too soon? I might have spoke too soon. I think the players faked me out with those lovely, lovely tones. You know, it's what I deserve. What I deserve for being hopeful. But we are close, ladies and gentlemen. I'm actually hesitating to even cut away from the map at this point, as all players are readied up. We should be diving in shortly. So we're going to be seeing this Kiot objective. What do you think is going to happen here with this Kiot objective for Valor? I mean, this is a tough team to try to camp this objective against. Do you think they're going to go for the cap, or do you think it's going to be a more of a kill-for-kill team deathmatch style round?
It's hard to say. I mean, they did switch out players, so they definitely have more plans ahead of time for this map, but I don't know if it's going to help them at all.
Yeah, that is correct, and there it is. We are now officially diving in. I will even play the little intro for round 1 of map 2 here, as Animal House sets up their defense for this Kiot. Animal House not even aware of the objective at this point. I think that's part of the problem when you have these connectivity issues, is you have a hard time focusing on the match at hand. We are seeing Valor taking that east side spawn very quickly. Let's actually hop over to the action here. We're seeing 3 members cross on the east side. They're going to run into Willow first. Willow now keeping an eye on the street. Olivio's going to be likely the first person he sees. If these 3 members stay relatively quiet, they could just sneak past without being seen, as there is nobody else covering that east or northeast side. Take a look at the overhead map. Yeah, and Willow, as soon as I do that, Willow is on top. Olivio grabs that kill. Animal House is up 1 member as it is, and now Willow is aware that they are likely on this east side, so he is rotating, trying to catch anybody crossing. Shots coming out from Jace there do land on Willow, and Valor has evened this up to a 4-4.
Green Theft all the way on the south side going for a long flank, and he's gonna put some hurt on Valor if they don't look and check their 6.
Yeah, absolutely. Just coming up quickly onto the backside of the offense. They are going to have to move relatively soon. Take a quick look at the overhead map as the offense gets set up. Yeah, they're stalling out. They're taking a little too long there to cross the street on the east side, and they're not careful. And Green Theft just decides to go on the inside of this building. Could likely be saving the Valor offense here as they slowly creep across the street on this east side, and Green Theft does grab Panko in the back. Shadows looking to get that refrag. Been quite a few rounds not able to land anything, and now Valor's just down into a 3v5, but Mobstar evens that up, grabs Wicked Hex on the upstairs. Now the rotations from the defense are coming out. Shots ringing out onto Silent as they rotate towards the objective.
Green Theft getting aggressive again. He's coming up into the mini bazaar, and he gets one in the back.
Yeah, now it's just up to these last 2 members of Valor. Jace here taking a little too long to sync up with his team. Flashes coming out, but Jace able to grab him as he throws check flashes into that backside. Now,
Okay, keep it tight.
it is a 2v2, so Valor able to salvage that situation pretty well. Green's flank could have been much, much more devastating And he decided to be a little bit more aggressive with it, but luckily for him, it's a little safer. And Silent is rotating very heavily on this objective, which is really what you need to do, because a cap can come out from quite a few different positions on this objective.
Boxtoy's in a really risky position. He has cover, but he doesn't have protection.
Yeah, in a relatively common spot, as long as Silent is able to stay alive, you shouldn't have too many issues. They need to cover the front and the back side of this. I'm not sure Silent is going to be ready for Jace's position here. If Jace stays quiet enough, he could just sneak by. Shots now ringing out from Silent on Shadow's position as he makes callouts for his team. All out from Silent, and shots from Jace do not land. Jace now rotating onto the backside here, but Boxtoys might catch him out. He does rush the corner, but the trade comes out. Both members down. Shadows grab Silent as he rotates onto the objective, and Valor do grab that Marsoc round. That was relatively surprising. I did not expect Valor to be able to pull that out.
Those are the nervous plans that you were talking about earlier on Furbier, where you have to get the defenders to come off of their position.
Yeah, they were definitely, I mean, they were communicating. They were aware of the positions of the enemies. I'm surprised Silent rotated in front of the enemy that he had called out beforehand. He could have just as easily ran through the back room there just to check the objective, but opting to run out into the open does cinch up that round for Valor, and Valor starting off strong with a Marsoc win. I don't know, this objective I feel like is, sometimes it's just cursed. This should be by all counts probably a defense favored objective, but there are just so many hallways, and sometimes the defense just does not have an option but to rotate too heavily. It's an interesting one, that's for sure. I personally, it's not my favorite objective on this map. I'm partial to the objective in the center street on the south there.
That one is a good one. I thought this one was the most capable objective on Bazaar.
It definitely can be. It does require, again, good utilization of your equipment to try to get in close, but I'm not used to seeing such a, I'll call it reserved push onto that objective. Generally speaking, we see shots, onto objective within 20 to 30 seconds of the map going live. So maybe just an interesting, different style of play there. And it could have worked out if they were quiet enough. Maybe if Shadow hadn't made those call-outs so close to the objective, Silent wouldn't have been able to pick up on their positions. I wonder if he was also maybe hearing the chirp from the radio of the other player. It is possible as well. Full of all kinds of interesting tidbits today, as we are now waiting on a member of Valor to rejoin. Just cannot seem to keep players in lobbies. We should have that resolved shortly, and we'll be kicking the action off here as soon as possible. right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. All players in. We are in round 2 of map 2. This Valor Animal House match, able to get the 5th player in quickly there. I think we figured out what the issue might be. And now we're going to be seeing Animal House attacking this same objective. So if I remember my Animal House correctly, they are going to play this objective the way that I generally expect this objective to be played, which is a pretty heavy center rush with no small amount of smokes. Try to get some cover for your offense pushing in. And I would be surprised if they don't go for a cap here.
We already have Willow all the way on the north wall.
Yeah, he is indeed right on top of this defense. He's going to have to deal with Painco tucked into that corner there. That's a very common spot. Interested to see if we're going to see a nade there come out as a check. Is approaching very slowly. So the defense is set up pretty entrenched here. They've sort of got their spots and they're not moving too far from it, but they are still making quite a bit of noise. And now Wicked and Silent starting to make their push up the center here. Starting to slowly see them get set up. The smokes are coming in. A nice frag check there for a very common position from Silent. Not going to grab anybody this time, however. And the smokes are now out, so we'll see how the defense handles these rotations. Jace is going to grab Silent quickly from that upstairs position. Mobstar cleans up Box Toys as he approaches from the west. And just like that, 2 members of Animal House are gone.
Still watching this Willow push right up the back. He's getting all the way up in the Kiat now.
Green Theft is able to grab Shadow, though. He is close. He's on it. He's on objective. Willow picks up Painco in the back, pads out. He's on the corner. The other 2 members of Valor don't know what's happening. They grab Willow in the back. But in the meantime, Animal House is able to grab that cap. And there's the caster prediction, you know, working for once. That is the style of that Kayat objective that I am very used to seeing, where we see that heavy center push, maybe a little bit of a distraction there. Willow ran a great flank, able to grab 1 member in the back before getting cleaned up, and Silent just rushes in, grabs 2 right on objective. Whips pad out and gets his team 2 points on the board, and now they're going into a defensive round. Are we going to see another set of unanswered points from Animal House?
I don't know about unanswered. Unanswered seems like a strong word.
Well, for now it's 2 points unanswered, but it did all come in 1 round. So I will give you that currently they haven't had a chance to answer, but I don't know. Animal House, when they get on a roll, they get on quite a roll. And I think that it does look like Wicked Hex was back in the lobby, so Too Old only, I think, ran that 1 round with them, that first defensive round. And Wicked Hex is now back in with Animal House. He was playing that last round, so. And it looks
So
like
we have your favorite objective now.
Oh, indeed we do. We have that center Humvee objective. I am excited to see what the teams do here. This is always such an interesting one. It's so difficult to get across the street, so the strategies teams use to do that is always very, very exciting for me. Very exciting time. And not a lot of time for me to think about how excited I am, because we're diving into round 3 of this map 2. All right, we're going to be seeing Animal House on the defense. And they are happy. They are ready to go. We're going to be seeing this Valor offense opt out of this western push. So Olivio here is going to be jumping up top, looking for a quick pick. A pretty common position. Wicked Hex is going to rotate in, though. Very aggressive play by him. Could catch Mobstar or Olivio out. They're not careful. Shots ringing out there from the corner. Will-O-the-Wisp seeing Olivio not able to land the shots, and Wicked now coming around this corner. Mobstar, though, able to grab him quickly. And just like that, Animal House is down one member.
Yeah, that's a very aggressive push from Wicked. I don't know why he kept walking around that corner when he could have just hid there and them to come.
Yeah, Shadows falls, grabs one other member of the defense, and now Valor is up 2 members, 5 and 3. So we did see this in their first offensive round, and then Animal House sort of tilted the favor back, but Valor were able to pull it out in the end. So we'll see if they're able to do something similar, but they've got a full force of 5 ready to go. Bunch of F words there. The good F words. Panko taking some shots.
The good
now.
F words?
The good F words, yeah.
Okay.
Those are the ones you could say on stream. Silent Knight, I think he was aware. Maybe it was Panko's position, or actually more likely Olivio's position, laying some shots down on him. But the defense, again, now has to be kind of antsy. They have to be careful where they engage. I wonder if Panko can hear these call-outs from Silent. Silent pushes out, does grab Panko on the corner. Now it's a 4v3.
One down on me.
Yeah, but two of the offense are down on the South Street coming up behind the defense. PT, Jace, and Shadows Falls going for that long rotation. Maybe they can get a cap if their other guy keeps them distracted.
Olivio grabs Silent Knight, sticking around in his position a little bit too long. And now just 2 members of the defense. Box Toys is here on objective, and the last remaining member there, Willow, has to be rotating back to the objective. He is doing just that on the south side, but he's going to run into these 2 members of the offense pretty soon here. If Jace isn't careful, Willow's going to spot him out as he crosses, but no, Willow's the one who's going to get punished. Jace is going to down him, but the callouts are going to come out. He's still just downed.
Box Toy is getting a little aggressive, getting ready to peek that corner.
Shots ring out, and nade is out. Jace is going to avoid that. He's going to be looking, try to get this revive. Shadow there, I believe, was able to see him. Mobstar grabs him from the backside, though, and Valor ties this series up 2-2 now. Great plays by Valor there. That sort of surrounding the objective and, you know, taking your time on your shots and spotting out your enemies really worked out. Silent Knight's position in that blue room hallway was likely their downfall. He stuck around a little too long after getting that Marsoc kill, was hoping to grab another one, but then got caught out. Willow's rotation was a little late to get back to objective. He gets caught out by the offense, and yeah, Valor able to clean that round up very well. We're seeing a lot of good offensive rounds here. Actually, no Volk wins so far.
None at all? No Volk wins?
Not on Bazaar currently. So we've had 3 rounds, and all have gone to Marsoc. On Suburbia, we did have 2 Volk wins, I believe, and then 3 offensive wins, culminating with that cap on final objective. But yeah, very Marsoc heavy game we have so far. But if that trend continues and Animal House can pull off a second cap here, they can end this in 4 rounds and 2 caps. That'll make it 3 caps on the day. And I think they're going to go for it. I think this is the objective that you want to go for it.
I mean, your options are go for it and you end it, or go for it and you fail and you still have a chance to come back.
Yeah, we are into round 4 of map 2, and we are hearing the code being recited by Animal House, so I think we are going to be seeing a cap attempt potentially to close out this map and this series. We'll see if the defense is able to hold them off, get that first Volk win on this map. Suppressing fire coming out from Silent there as Wicked and Green move up through the Bazaar. Willow's going to have to deal with Panko there on the corner if he wants to cross. And the smokes are coming out. Call out for smokes are coming. We've got 4 down, but Panko able to grab Silent as he crosses. Willow, though, is able to make it across. Wicked cleans up Panko, just downing him. He's going to need to get that confirmed, and there it is.
PTJ's about to run into Box Toys in the mini market, but he gave away his position and took out Green Theft Auto instead, crossing the street.
And now Box Toys is aware. Jace should have heard these footsteps. He is waiting for him. Animal House down to 3 members on this offense. Valor looking really good. Take a look. There is a southern approach by the offense there. You do see a pretty heavy stack defense on the objective. Willow grabs Mobstar there, just a down. Box and Jace here kind of in a standstill. C4 comes out. Wicked Hex downs Olivio on objective. Grabs him. Box does round the corner and grab Jace, of course, as soon as we leave the camera view. And it's just up to Shadows Falls here to stop this cap. Mobstar is making the callouts, but Pat is out. Wicked Hex has Pat out. Shadow's now rotating in. That's it. Animal House grabs it. Wicked Hex with the cap.
That was a fast cap right there. And that's the series.
It's all over. Unbelievable. What was Shadows thinking there? Why was he not rotating onto objective? I guess Mobstar wouldn't have seen him behind that wall. But I wonder if he heard. Maybe he just didn't hear him either. I don't know. I don't know. That was a communication breakdown. The defense crumbled there very quickly, and Animal House cinches it up. 3 caps on the game, 2 on Bazaar, making up the entirety of their points. And wow, what a series it has been. I did not expect it to be this one-sided.
Me either. This is definitely not what I was expecting. I was honestly hoping for Valor to take at least 1 map, but they still could. We are now on to Quarantine.
That we are indeed. Quarantine is going to be the final pick, and that is going to be Animal House's pick as well, as they are starting off on Marsoc. And we're going to be seeing an interesting objective here. We're going to be starting out on this North Truck Stop objective. This is such a tough one, but with Animal House on offense, and with this sort of full steam ahead, let's get the cap sort of offense we've been seeing, I'm really interested to see what they're going to pull out against Valor and how Valor's going to respond. I mean, you really never want to give away all 3 maps if you don't have to, and a lot of times teams will relax after, you know, cinching up the series, as Animal House has done here, and sort of be a little bit more loose with their playstyle, allowing your team to maybe capitalize on that 3rd map, like you said. So I'm interested to see what this Quarantine game is going to be like.
Yeah, this is definitely not one of my favorite objectives at all. It's very hard to approach. You just have to use overwhelming firepower and a ton of smoke.
Yeah, the smokes are definitely necessary, but a lot of it is also utilizing your staying quiet, basically utilizing your teammates' positions and trying to stay as quiet as you can when you make your approach, because there's a lot of little hills and corners that the defense can sort of camp behind, and you have to try to catch them unawares. But we will be seeing those positions here as we dive into round 1, map 3. Animal House already grabbing the series, but Valor looking to hold out on this last map and not give away too much MMR. As we said, they did start off this season with a 3-0 in their placement matches, and this is sort of their first, we'll call it major league team that they're playing. And I think we're starting to see those cracks in the armor, right? They're gonna definitely need to put a little bit more homework into some of their games.
Both teams are currently at a 12-10 MMR, so they are technically tied.
Yeah, with new teams' MMRs, though, it's going to take a little time for it to normalize because, you know, obviously Animal House has been playing mid to top tier teams most of the season. This being, I think, their lowest matchup of the season so far. And we are seeing Steven subbing in here.
PT Jace is in a very open position. He's just peeking over that hill, but he's visible from both sides, and now the shots are coming out at him.
And Steven makes the call out to Wicked. Shadow capitalizes on that information, able to grab Steven quickly on the backside. Animal House is down one player. Shots ring out from Olivia. He is able to grab Will-O-the-Wisp as he approaches from Hardware. Shadow able to grab Wicked Hex as well. He's on an absolute tear, grabbing 2 there. Mobstar now looking for Silent Knight, but Silent Knight quickly rotates around the wing. Is able to grab him. Green Theft's on the rooftop, grabs Panko from his position. Silent
Point has one down.
making some check fire there, and Green Theft has to be careful as he rounds this hill. Still 3 defenders there. He's making quick peeks. Jace here. And the call out is 3 confirmed, but only 2 so far have actually been down, so the call outs are incorrect for Silent Knight. And I wonder if this will play into them a little bit too aggressive. They're going to try to make a push here.
Looks like they're setting up a nice strong pincer maneuver, but they have an incorrect count, and that might bite them in the butt.
Green Theft rotating. Olivia should hear this rotation, but no, it's Shadows that's actually going to grab him as he rotates back in. Shadows just absolutely tearing this offense apart. Silent grabs Jace from this 2-story objective, and now it's a 1v2. Silent going to be rotating out.
Plenty of time. No need to heal. It's a good day. Alright, so what was the last one? I'd be on objective.
We are hearing the thought process there of Silent Knight as he makes the approach. Nice to have that little insight into players' minds as they go. We do appreciate your commentary, Silent.
If I was the last guy, where would I be?
Hey, it's an important question to ask yourself. Sometimes players are much too focused on the corner that they're about to round rather than the potential positions of the defense, so can't knock him for thinking out loud. I'm definitely one to talk to myself during games, since it
That
is
you
what
are.
it is. It's what it is. And a nice flash coming out there. Should have blinded Olivio pretty well. Yeah, he does look tucked in. And if Shadows just peeks this corner, he would grab his 4th kill on the round. Silent now being a little bit cautious, not capitalizing on those flashes. See, I never understood that. When you run flashbangs and you toss them out across the map, they don't really do anything. I mean, I guess you're hoping to incite some sort of panic on the defense and cause a rotation, but I don't know, at that distance seems unnecessary. And there's the peek. And there it is. He does grab Silent. Goes up 4-0 on the series. Grabs his team that point.
Yeah, I definitely think they're using those flashbangs to force or try and force a rotation, which I don't know if that's ever worked. I don't know why. I mean, this whole series I haven't seen it work, so I don't know why they keep trying it.
Well, see, what's interesting is flashes, generally speaking, in my eyes, mean that, you know, I'm going to sit still. Because if they don't know I flashed, if the enemy does not know that they flashed me and I don't make any noise or do anything, to them it could have just been nothing. Like, they checked a corner for no reason. So for me to stand up and rotate as a result of a flashbang seems kind of silly.
I prefer the Sri Lankan, oh my god, I can't see tactic.
That is a pretty good one. We have seen that come out a couple of times. I think actually last week in the SMC Phoenix game,
Phoenix match.
yeah, I think Landon was caught using that tactic. He was communicating to his team that he could not see after a flashbang came out that did not land, and then as the defender rotated around to try to grab the kill, he was able to pick him up instead. So mind games are important. And real games are important too as we dive into the second round of map 3 here in this game. And the spawn is going to be Crater, but the defense is setting up for a heavy, heavy southwest push. In fact, the entire team, yep, short of one, the entire team of Valor is now crossed into the northern wall of this objective.
With 0 callouts.
I will be blown away if they cap this objective. This would have been probably hands down the worst defense by Animal House if they let them cap this. Olivia's pushing up with the shield now. Silent
Wow,
Knight,
Silent
the
just
only
called
one.
out.
He's the only one here, though. He's the only one who can do anything. That smoke is going to provide some cover. And Silent looks confused. Where did those smokes come from?
He sounds confused. He looks confused. Panic nades come out.
Smokes are out. Silent grabs a great nade, though. Green Theft grabs Jace. Silent grabs Panko and Shadows before he goes down. Olivio's on the other side of this truck here. Wicked Hex and Steven both crashing in. Steven grabs Olivia after a nice flash. And Animal House somehow disregard that Valor wins banner. Animal House somehow able to recover after that defensive setup. I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. What just happened on my screen?
The last phrasing I heard from Animal House is, "Are you sure? I never saw anyone go Crater." And then everything happened at once.
I mean, it was a great grenade by Silent. There was a long distance shot there by Wicked Hex to grab one, I believe, in the corner of North White. And yeah, it was just a couple of pickups. Olivio, though, I think Olivio would have had that cap. If he'd have just stayed in the smoke instead of rotating to the other side of the semi like he did, he could have had that cap. I believe it. I don't know. I'd have to review the tapes to be sure, but...
And I think they might have got a little cap happy because there were like 3 of them on objective, and then you don't have anyone covering you if you're all trying to cap at once. And it's just not a good way to go because they all went down just like that when Silent ran into the smoke.
Yeah, that was very quick. I don't think Valor were ready. I mean, honestly, they weren't ready for the defense to not be there. I don't think they even knew what to do, being able to get in that deep. But an interesting defense turns out to be the best defense. So, casters, eat your words. Animal House able to grab that defensive round, and we're in a 1-1 on map 3 of this series.
Now we have the ambulance objective. This is one of my favorites.
What do you like so much about this ambulance objective? I'm okay with it. It's not my top on this map, but...
I like attacking it. I don't care so much for the defense.
Yeah, the defense can definitely be very difficult here. This spawn is good, so a crater spawn for the offense can be beneficial. The quick spawn is usually better, but see how Valor sets up this defense, and if they're able to catch these spawns out quick enough. We are going to see no defenders crossing. Oh, we're going to see one, actually, up on the south hills there, crossing over. But none of the offense, I believe, has been called out yet. And I think they're opting for a more northern push, which is interesting to me. I think if you can make this south cross, it's a much stronger approach in my eyes. There's a lot less oversight on top of you. If you can get anybody on the south wing down, it's sort of an easy approach. But we are going to be seeing Animal House coming in mostly from the north. Silent Knight setting up here in the rooftop courtyard. And the rest of his team is going to be approaching all the way around. So it looks like they're really just sweeping the map and making sure that there's no... Making sure there's no enemies approaching on a flank. Jace there taking some shots on a member of the offense crossing in from the East HQ, but they are not going to land. And the smokes are coming out now. Some early smokes. Shadow has Green Theft pinned here in this corner. As the smokes come out, and he does grab Green as he comes around the corner. Does confirm the kill as well, and Valor is now up 5-4.
Mid burning's down.
Silent able to grab Panko there in the burning, and now the defense starting to show a little bit of wear. The rotation coming out on objective, not able to grab him. Silent looking for this pick. A flash comes out. If that was a frag, that would have been quite the frag. Shadow grabs Wicked Hex as he rotates to support Silent's position, and now Silent's in trouble here. Taking shots on the wrong position. Willow does grab Olivia in the back. The 3v3 all evened up. Now more flashes coming out onto Silent's position. That one does not seem to land. And Shadow not peeking this corner. Silent grabs Mobstar. Shadow's gonna have to be careful. He's not gonna see this. Oh, and there he is. He does rotate in time. Grabs Silent. Jace, however, with the team kill from the back. South Hills.
And way off of objective, unable to protect this. This cap is gonna happen.
Yeah, this is absolutely Cap City. Jace has to be crashing down right now. Steven's got Pat out.
Jace hasn't even moved.
They have got all the time in the world. Steven is coming around this corner. He's in the smoke. Willow's going to confirm Shadow. And, yeah, we are going to be seeing a cap here. And there it is. Animal House grabs the easy cap there. The defense not able to handle what Animal House was putting out, and they go up 3-1. I'm trying to remember a match that I casted, or really anybody's casted, where 4 caps have come out. I cannot, in recent memory, remember one where 4 caps have come out against one team. Let's even do it that way. So 4 caps from, maybe 2 different teams. Sure.
Oh man, I don't know. I think there's definitely been some, but
yeah, none are coming to mind right now. Animal House, just a dominating performance here, showing Valor what it means to be that top-ranked team. That's kind of the problem with that placement system, is it's so short, and if you do really well in it, that's great, but you're, generally speaking, your first match out of placement can be quite a doozy, and Animal House here really showing that sort of skill cap difference between a team that's been around for quite some time, a seasoned team, and a lot of seasoned players on Valor, but just not there with the coordination. I mean, Jace there, just absolutely unaware of the positioning. He had enemies all over objective. He had downed a teammate. Not sure if he wasn't checking his tablet. We weren't in his view there, but just totally
I believe
caught
he was
unawares.
not. He actually threw it down on the ground as soon as he got back to the dunes last time I saw.
Yeah, and some interesting choices there, rearing their ugly heads, but we'll see what happens here as we dive into potentially the last round of this match. Animal House now on defense, looking to shut this series out entirely. Valor only putting up 3 points across 3 maps so far. We are going to be seeing this quick spawn.
I have 4 points. 1 on Suburbia, 2 on Bazaar, and then 1 right now.
You are right. They did grab a second point on Bazaar. The shots are ringing out. The spawn is called in, and the entire offense is stuck back here in these southeast outskirts. Not sure how they're going to be able to rotate out here. Wicked Hex is pushing up very aggressive on their position. If they're not careful with their rotations, yeah, Steven grabs Shadow. Wicked grabs Olivia. Jace, however, grabs Willow. It's a 4v3. And now the offense is approaching here, but Wicked's going to be caught out by Jace, actually. A little bit too aggressive there. Now it's just up to Steven. 3v3, holding this gas station objective. He is able to grab Jace. Nice grenade coming out. A flash, not going to catch any of the members of the offense there, but Steven is aware that they're going to be coming through this area. Surprised the defense didn't lock down that north street and make sure nobody came around the other way, and a trade comes out. Mobstar and Steven going to trade a headshot and a body shot. Mobstar going to be revivable here for his team, and it's a 2v2. The
rest of the defense, we have 1 on the wing, Green Theft Auto, and we have Silent Night on objective. So still a pretty hard push to get all the way onto the objective by the offense here. Especially when they're in a position where the defense knows exactly where they are. They need to rotate away and come at a different angle. Continuing to push this approach is probably suicide.
Yeah, and I think they used quite a bit of their equipment. I do see a smoke on Mobstar's chest, so I think a few of them might still be available, but they're going to need everything at their disposal to try to make this approach happen. So we zoom out here, we can see Silent Knight is on the ambulance corner there, and Green Theft has taken up a position on the south wing, but he's watching this approach. So Panko does not have a lot of room for error here, and Green Theft is going to pick him up quickly.
He's coming down. He's coming down. Watch it. Watch it. Watch it. Now. Revive.
Bad call on the revive, and then Panko immediately goes down.
Mobstar gives his position away as well, and it's not looking hot for Valor here. Silent Knight now rotating in. Is he gonna catch him? Oh, the corner peek is just too late. He just misses him. And Mobstar here might be able to turn the tables. He does indeed. He's able to down Silent Knight. He has not confirmed, so the callouts are gonna be coming out. Green Theft Auto, though, on those callouts, able to grab Mobstar. And Animal House is gonna take this map and this series handily away from Valor. Final score of 13-4. What a series it has been, Trip. What are your thoughts on what we just watched there?
It was definitely not as close as I thought it would be. There was a lot more confusion. I don't really know what the word for it is on the Valor side. The communication was a little lax, or the planning was. I don't know what it was. It was just not as tight as I had expected for these two teams. Especially going up against a higher ranked team, you would want to be on your game. But they tried their best, and it didn't turn out in their favor. But they've still got a pretty high MMR, so they'll have some other good teams to face off with, and hopefully we'll get some more casts from them and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be a good set of footage for them to review, but Valor played well. They took a couple of rounds there. They just weren't able to get anything going in the long run, and Animal House just playing very strong despite some of their tech issues. But yeah, that is going to do it, I think, from the casting desk here today. If you guys want to get involved in the Onward Master League, go ahead and check out those links right below the video. You got links to our Discord there, to our sister channels, and to the VR Master League site where you can register to become a player, a reservist, start your own team, whatever you would like to do. We do appreciate everybody hanging out with us in the chat today, dropping those subscriptions and supporting your casters and your teams. We love to see that. But I think that is going to do it from us here at the casting desk today. Tune in tomorrow, 6 Pacific, for me and Sleepy casting. Let's see if I can remember.
Colettos?
Yeah, I believe Ember. Yeah, Ember and Colettos playing tomorrow at 6 Pacific. Tune in for that. But with that, if you have nothing else, Trip?
I have nothing else. Just look forward to those new emotes that all you new subscribers got.
Yeah, absolutely. And with that, I think we are going to be signing off for the day. So I am Noman with the 4. My co-caster Triple Nipple. We are signing off. We'll see you guys tomorrow.